Hello and welcome back. In today's video we have some more Bannerlord information in the form of the newest developer blog released on the 24th of March. In short, this blog talks about the developments in Bannerlord's relationships with the AI in particular. It talks about recruiting, which is kind of a result of those relationships. You have quests talking about how much better the quests are in Bannerlord and how they're developed and their kind of outcomes. We also have the NPC interactions and how that will work for Bannerlord. So sit back and enjoy while we discuss Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord's developer blog 15, Valuable Relationships. The blog begins with Tailworlds apologising for not updating the blog, and they are aware it has been a while. However, they have been working very hard on the game and are very excited to talk a little bit about something that they've been working on recently. It goes on to say the essential function of quests in Mount & Blade is different to that of the linear or story-based RPG, and their basic goal is to use quests as a way to encourage the player to interact with the sandbox and help form the player's relationships in the world. Furthermore, it reads, as in Warband, completing quests for NPCs will increase your relationship with that character. This, however, takes on a new dimension in Bannerlord, as that relationship can have more profound impact on your character and the decisions you make. As an example, when you go to a town to recruit soldiers, instead of simply receiving a number of local recruits, as you did in Warband, for example, you went to a town, click recruit, and that's how you got people, the town's NPC act as recruiting agents, or the middlemen, so to speak, through whom you will receive a supply of troops. The higher your relationship with that specific NPC, the greater the number of soldiers they will make available to you. I presume this could run along the same lines as the Viking Conquest DLC, where you talk to the village elder and you have to get permission to recruit from that village or town, and the more relation you have with the person that's giving you the recruits, or you're buying the recruits off, the more troops you will get, and maybe even the better troops you will get. Although sometimes I think it will be a little bit more complex than that. For example, having more than one NPC in a town that you can recruit from, and then each of those NPCs sell different troops, for example. The blog goes on to read, this places inherent value on your relationship with the specific NPC, because obviously you need to recruit troops from them, and you can't recruit many troops if you don't have a good relationship. So this basically gives you a reason to complete quests for these particular NPCs, and this will enhance your capacity to recruit soldiers quickly from a single location, and I presume getting more soldiers from that single location per recruitment or per cost. So consider also the way this invests you in an NPC's safety and well-being. When that NPC is at risk, so too is your supply of soldiers. This link between quests and the sandbox is what provides interesting gameplay as your character's connection to the world grows. Making allies and enemies in this sense, the impact of a quest is more often more significant than the reward it offers. This is a good representation of how much thought Tailworlds have been putting into the game. To put it in hindsight, it means that the rewards of particular quests aren't so important as the result of a quest. For example, if the person you're recruiting soldiers off and that you have a good relationship with is in danger of being assassinated, however, he does know the people that want him assassinated, maybe he'll send you with your band of soldiers to go ahead and kill the people that he thinks want to assassinate him, or even preventing the assassin himself from killing the NPC that is giving you soldiers for a fair price. Obviously, if your NPC dies as a result of the assassination and your quest fails, that means you're going to have to build up the same relationships with another NPC in another town, and that obviously will require a larger time investment. And if you lose troops along the way to visiting this NPC in another town, maybe by robbers or looters, or maybe even an enemy faction's lord, your force will eventually become worn down, some people may become injured, and eventually you will get defeated. Now, obviously that's a more worst case scenario, and you could find yourself captured, and then you'll lose everything, and you'll have to start again. So this all brings it round to the fact that you need to keep that NPC alive. That was obviously a worst case scenario. I don't really know anything worse that could happen as a result. Things like that, just develop the story and develop just how relationships work and how the game works. And I think so far it sounds so good and so much more complex than Warband. Reading further into the blog, it says a crucial change in the nature of quests themselves is that the majority of quests in Bannerlord have multiple potential outcomes. As an example, when a character in a town tasks you with clearing out some thugs who are occupying a local alley, upon meeting the gang you are presented with a counter offer. Go back to the quest giver, extort the money out of him for questioning the gang's authority, and keep the profits for yourself. You can even clear out the thugs as requested, but instead of handing control back to the townsfolk, install your own men into the alley and begin a new criminal operation. The degree of options and the potential outcomes of certain quests just makes me so amazed. I cannot wait to see what we can do with these quests. I mean, if you're able to reinstall your own gang after defeating one gang, surely you can slowly work your way up to maybe even defeating the lord of that particular castle. Things like that could be very interesting indeed, and I just love how quests have multiple outcomes and seem to have a real purpose. Continuing on with the blog, it reads, by offering these branching quests, Bannerlord gives you as a player the chance to define your relationship with different characters through a narrative instead of simply working to earn the favour of specific individuals. You are weighing the values of NPC allegiance against the short-term reward. And since the NPCs themselves have their own rivalries and disputes in terms of minor factions, maybe they dislike their overall faction, for example, the Rhodoks in Valandia, even taking what seems like the moral option can compromise your standing with those who disapprove of your choice of friends. So basically, you've got to be really careful who you're friends with and what you do on the map, because it can have some really dramatic effects on other people in Calradia. Quests in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord are designed to prove the basis for interesting emergent interactions with the sandbox game world. While you might complete a single quest multiple times, the context within which you understand the task and the decisions you make will mean the experience and the consequences can vary for each occasion. I just think these developments and what we've seen in this blog, that was pretty much the end of it, are amazing. I really enjoy just how much depth Tailworlds are going into for this game, and I cannot wait to find out some more. So that pretty much sums it up for this video. I've tried to keep it as concise as I possibly can. So if you did enjoy, make sure to click the like button as well as hitting that subscribe. I'd like to say thank you for Tailworlds for releasing this blog. I know it's been a long time coming, but it's always nice to have some information. Also, before you go, I've been in contact with the developers of Holdfast Nations at War, which is a Napoleonic Mount and Blade type game. If you're interested in potentially being able to play in the pre-early access testing, where they will make some trailers and do some media stuff, as well as testing out their multiplayer, make sure to go down in the description where you can find the link to their Twitter or their Facebook, where they'll post how to sign up for it, etc. They're basically just polishing off some features of the game, so if you're interested, make sure to go down in the description. Anyway guys, that will do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant day, and I will see you in the next one.